Hi, me again. So I'm John Alsop. I want to talk about SEO and an artist's website. So if you're an artist, this is for you. And I want to know, what would doubling your website sales mean? And I talked somewhere else about, I know that many artists don't make that many sales directly off their website, but it's the kind of hub through which everybody finds out about you and finds out about your exhibitions where you do sell and so on. So if you could double your sales and your website can contribute to that, what would that actually mean to you? There are thousands of people looking to buy art online, getting your website onto page one so that you can drink from that river of buyers, that's a big old topic, and quite understandably artists would rather do art. Who wouldn't? Now I can't draw for toffee. Here you go, here's a house that I drew earlier. There you go, that's what houses look like, that's what cats look like. Alright, so that's me and art. But I am really good at SEO and websites. So SEO is about being discoverable, and between you and I, we probably make a pretty good team. So you know how real experts have kind of distilled all the knowledge into some kind of nugget of guideline that they really kind of live by? I'm going to give you mine. I'm going to tell you my expert approach to SEO. All right, here it is. This is how to be brilliant at SEO. All right, be fabulous. Okay, thank you very much. Goodbye. What? You mean you want more? Alright. Well, I didn't expect that. Okay, so SEO has two parts. One is what's on your website, and there's really only one thing to say about this for you, and that is if it's a oil painting, say it's an oil painting. If it's an oil painting of a donkey, say it's an oil painting of a donkey, and then people who type in, I want to buy an oil painting of a donkey, come find you. There you go. That's on-page SEO. Off-page SEO is a different deal. So this is how Google got to be big. By taking into account that a link from another website to yours is kind of a vote of confidence in you and in your website. So and a link from Apple is a much bigger deal than a link from Jeff's blog who lives down the road, So taking into account all of that is partly how Google decides who to put on page one for any particular search query. And so there's a huge industry around getting links, and the old school way is to kind of ring around and ask people for a link, and that's really rubbish. You don't want to be doing that. Not nowadays. Anyway, so how do we get more links? And the answer lies in Hollywood. And if you think about how they market a movie, saying the word movie really gets me down. They're films where I come from, but I'm going to go with movie because, so if you think about how they start, you get the kind of hints. You start to get an idea that there's a new film coming along. So there's slight hints. There's kind of they'll raise some questions. There's kind of weenie snippets, flash snippets, a preview of what the monster looks like. Just a little bit. Here's what is kind of part of its face or something like that, just to kind of tease you. Then you've got the trailer and the reviews, and the film's not out yet. Then the film comes out, and do all that, and then they'll come back with a sequel to get more money from the people who liked it the first time. And it's only years later that you get to tour the studio and work out how they did what they did. So the Harry Potter experience is really good. Do that if you can. So the good news for you is that you can stop doing time lapses of your work, because frankly the only people interested are, well, the person who commissioned the piece would certainly love to see how it was done, but other artists, really. That's the how you did it, and that's supposed to come right at the end when everything's all done and dusted. So here's how you can kind of apply that Hollywood movie launch system to you. So you probably don't think of yourself as a leader, but you kind of are. As an artist, you're out thinking these kind of edge thoughts. Even if you do pet portraits, you're still inviting people to think about the love of a great doggy. And you've escaped the daily grind. You're doing what you want. You're loving life, and really you're living everyone's dream. You are kind of living this aspirational life. And whereas, your traditional political leaders, you might say they have some traditional leadership skills. Somebody like Greta Thunberg certainly doesn't. All she did was kind of got a core value and turned it up to 11 and kind of lived by it. That's kind of what you're doing. So part of our task, part of the thing, is to work out what you actually stand for and what you're there for. It may or may not be easy to work out, but if we can say that you stand for kind of friendly humour, or Yorkshire landscapes, or PTSD, or whatever it is, then we're on our way. So imagine that you get inspired to paint 100 trees, let's say, that are all of the 100 trees closest to you that are over 100 years old, around wherever you live. Okay, so you go for it, you start, and just hint at what you're doing. No time lapses, no previews of the work, just kind of here's what you're working on. And I guess that's going to take a while, isn't it, to do 100 trees? It's going to take a year. And you can be talking to the Woodlands Trust and your local tourist board and whatever, and talk to galleries, get yourself booked in, so you've got the show of the work in the end. And so then you can start hinting about the show, and don't yet show a whole painting, show kind of part of one, or just show one painting, don't show the whole collection. But coming up to your exhibition, of course, you can start to go for it. You've got your monthly magazines that you need to talk to a few months ahead. You've got your kind of weekly magazines and your news press that you can do a bit closer to the exhibition. So you can start talking about what you're doing, but I would still hold back on actually showing the art until quite close to the exhibition. So then, you've got all the people you've been talking to, get them to link to your website page about the exhibition. You've got the press linking to you, and that's all your inbound links. Okay. So then you have your exhibition, you sell some paintings, you take it all down, and then I'm saying rest. Wait until you've recuperated before you decide what you're going to do next. And then you can go around again. It's a bit like the rock star kind of approach, where you launch the album and then you tour it and then you rest, and you wait for the inspiration to the desire to get into the studio to come back to you. And when you do come around again, you'll have a load of people on your mailing list who are interested in what you did last time. And so if what you do next is a continuation of that idea, that value that you stand by, then your next project will be twice as successful. I know some artists are shy, anxious of crowds and people. I get that, but you can, Kate Bush did it, so you can do it. If you don't know how to talk to the press, I can help with that. That's fine. If you just want to plod on, painting a little each day, you can still do that. I'm just saying that organising a launch like I've just described will get you more success, because it will get you more inbound links, because there's a moment, there's an event, and there's the frisson of it passing, and people don't want to miss the moment. And ultimately that will bring you more success, and having more money around will give you the space to potter along and do your own thing and follow your heart. So that's kind of my approach to SEO. You can go away and do it. Just go away and do it. So I'm going to leave that there. I've got another one coming up, which is kind of how we get to grips with what you are for, and I've got I've got more of this to come, but I think I've gone on for long enough, so we'll leave it there. All right, take care.